PowWow is made possible, in part, by Target Stores, Dayton's, and Mervyn's through the Dayton-Hudson Foundation, and by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting through the Central Educational Network.
Aho, Wakantanka, Ole, Statu, Wanawi Mahia.
PowWow is a celebration of life.
We all come together as one nation. And this is where they talk about the circle that we come in. This is where we meet friends. This is where we make relatives. This is where we bring our children to, in a circle. They call it the circle of life. This is where all good things happen.
Okay. That one.
Do you do lots of powwows during the summer?
Yeah, we've been going every weekend for the past six weeks, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Because they're powwows. I mean, we don't know life without powwows, you know. I don't see how you guys can live without ever knowing the powwows, you know.
Again, we ask you to rise if you are able to, as we bring in our Eagle staffs.
When you look at the grand entry, it's a teaching right there. You have the flags that come in, the Eagle staffs, and those represent nations, families, communities, and then veterans.
We have, bringing in our Eagle staff, this evening we have Ernest Wabasha, Hereditary Chief of the Dakota Nation.
And then we have the elders, and then we've got the adults, and then we have the children. The children have role models all the way down the line.
One of the things I was always taught was when our people, when they would go out a raiding or hunting party, they'd steal these horses and maybe they'd kill a whole bunch of buffalo or whatever, you know, they're bringing this meat home. But when they get in sight of the camp, they would stop. They would clean up and put on their finest outfit, you know, and they'd paint up, and then they'd come in and they'd show off. You know, they'd come in and they'd ride around the camp showing that they were back, they were okay, and then show off what they brought back. And that's where it was kind of like a grand entry. You know?
Oh, what a beautiful grand entry for this Saturday evening. Oh, God, entry.
Without the beat of the drum, which is our heart, we would not have a powwow. So it is important that we respect and honor those people that come together to sit around the drum and make a circle, because it is a sacred circle. That all
all these tribes will bring the heartbeat of their relatives. And that's what the drum is about. But the drum, actually, when it comes, we're looking at families of these men that are sitting around the circle to beat that drum. If one weakens, the drum will start falling apart. So they must also be caring. They must also protect one another. They must also support each other. So one has a family, another has a family. Those families become relative. So it goes on and on like that, right around the circle. It never ends. These boys, these men, will then go and adopt a friend. He become relative, and his family become relative to this family and this whole family group. So it goes on. So the whole nation speaks together, communicates together with the heartbeat of each other around the circle of the drum.
The drum beat represents the Lichoni, they call it, life. The first form that's going to take shape in any person or any living being is the heart. Then after that is the physical, so that's second. And the last is the mentality. And today we've lost respect for the heart, they call it. So this heartbeat represents the drum and your heartbeat, the pulse. And if you put those together, it's to rejuvenate. It's to build the spirit back up in you. It reaches out for everybody in the whole circle. And it'll even take the eagles. It'll even bring the thunder beams. It'll even bring the wind. See, that's, when you see these things happen, then you know you've got something very spiritually happening.
The drum came to the Indian people through a woman. So their woman is, spirit is in that drum.
Listen to the drum, you know, and it calls you. And it happens to me a lot of times. And I was, oh, I'm so tired, I'm gonna rest. And all of a sudden I hear a good song and a good step, you know, and out I go. My wife said, I thought you was tired. I said, the drum said I'm not tired.
There's a song everywhere. No matter where you go, there is a song. And that's what we're told to listen to. There's songs in the grass because it is the sacred blanket of Mother Earth in the summertime. And there is songs in the wintertime when the wind howls through windows or doors or wherever there is songs. There's songs of birds that sing particular songs. And there's words in those songs. All we have to do is learn to listen to them, the great songs of Mother Earth. God gave one of the greatest gifts was to sing together. And the beat of that particular song is the drum beat itself, which is your heart. So your heart is your drum beat, and your songs are the gifts of life, the songs of life.
You hear a good song and you're out there dancing, you kind of go to your inner self and to where you had your vision. You go back to the place where you feel comfortable, you know, in your own state of mind, and nothing else around you can interrupt that. And that's when you hear that song and it's so pretty, you know, it's like, it sounds like the wind, and you just dance to that, and it feels good.
A real good song, it just comes into you. It's like in your heart, and it just, your body starts, your feet, your legs, your arms, you know, and everything just is expressing that song.
hit that sign for you would have.
It takes a long time to make an outfit, you know. You can go through life and keep adding on to that outfit because of different circumstances that surround different items that you add to your outfit.
You know, the breastplate, a long time ago, before they come in with the Europeans, it could deflect arrows and some spears. And then we wear a choker, which would keep you from getting your throat cut.
We say welcome to each and every one of you, good people.
My dad made this for me. It's like when a warrior, he had a good horse that he really liked to ride, and took him to all the pony raids and all the war parties. And that horse got old and it died. So then, way to remember that horse, such a good horse, he carved a stick into that horse and painted up just like that horse. So he'd always have something to remember him by, and he'd carry it with him when he danced.
Then the mirrors, that's to, like, if anybody has any bad thoughts about you, it's to come and hit the mirrors and bounce back. Like evil spirits, they see themselves and they get scared and they fly away.
This shield I made about 3 years ago. It's just like a hoop stretched with rawhide and tied around there and then decorate it. I use acrylic paint on that. And the Thunderbird, he carries all the thunder and the power from the west to the ground. He's the one that brings the rain so that everything can grow again and keep growing. And he's the one that brings the thunder. The thunder is like real powerful to the Indian people. So I respected the Thunderbird and the beings of the West. I put him on my shield and the shield protects me. So that thunder and the lightning protects me. See how that all ties together?
When I was younger, I had a lot of hair. I used to just the way I put it on was I had a braid on top of my head, and then it went through this hole. But now I got older, my face is getting moving, so I have to tie it on now with a shoestring.
This piece right here is very, very traditional. That's how the old, like way back in the 1800s, that's how they used to style their bustles. And I got it given to me by old elder before he passed away. So he kind of respected me, and I showed respect back to him by wearing it when I danced. The feathers are eagle feathers, because an eagle is said to fly the highest in the sky, carry our prayers and our thoughts to Tunkashla, the great spirit above. So that's why we wear the eagle feathers, because they bring us closer to Tunkashla when we dance.
This is our oldest dance known to our people. Long ago, our warriors would come back to the camp, and the way they would let the people know what they had been doing while they were on the way on this hunt, or they're stealing horses, whatever they were from the enemy, they would come back, and then they would, in the circle in the middle, they'd have a fire or something. At night they would talk, plus they would act it out, and then they would dance and demonstrate how they stalked the game or how they tracked the game. That's what they did, the traditional dancing.
Powwow means that our dancers come together to dance for those that cannot dance. Dance for the old people and dance for the little children. So to dance for them means that it gives them courage inside that their tradition is carrying on. It's not going in the way of the wind. It's still there. So it gives them courage, it gives them strength to be here on their Mother Earth for a little longer, to give that wisdom that we have.
By 1862, Minnesota had declared itself an Indian Free State. And in 1863, in fact, there was a $200 bounty on Sioux scalps. And those Indians who were here were running for their lives.
People would, they would have powwows, secret powwows. They were outlawed for many years.
Everything was banned. I mean, not just dances, but the people themselves were banned.
There was no way that they could have completely eliminated powwows. The people just wouldn't let it happen. They got together and they knew where secret places were, and they let each other know by word of mouth where they were going to be and when, and they would all show up there. It's our culture and our traditions and our spiritual life. Well, our whole way of life was, kept going that way, kept alive.
We now are passing in front of the announcer stand. All our beautiful young women traditional dancers.
The women danced around the edge of wherever the men were dancing. This was mainly in honor of their male relatives that they would do this. The outfit is very much a part of the judge's overall picture of a woman's dancing. You might see the little bag on the back of her belt, then the knife case with the knife in it, and then the awl case with the awl in it. And depending on the style of dress, how is the beadwork applied, and is it done in a way that looks expert? This can be geometric design or floral design. You can tell the difference between an Ojibwe or an Anishinaabe beaded flower and a beaded flower of a Dakota woman. The colors are distinctly different for every tribe. It's a very graceful dance. There's a great deal of strength and stamina involved in a woman being able to dance in a traditional way.
We remember the Akichita at this time. Hakaha, our veterans.
The Indian word is Akichita. That is sort of translated as soldier. But it also means warrior, a protector, and helper of all the people.
They're the ones that fought to keep this land free. Even though the white man came here and fought the Indian people, when it came time for war, Indians picked up weapons and went to war for this land.
It was always the warrior who was first in defending Mother Earth. It was his duty to be first. I think it is a part of traditional values. I think it's a part of protecting against any outside invasion that would endanger the people our people who lived here.
Sometime in the future, we believe that we will be back to protect the environment and everything else.
Sitting Bull said, you know, we live in two worlds now. We live in the white world and we live in the Indian world. As you go along in life, learn in the white world what you can use. What you can't use, let it go. Because, you know, we need that to survive today.
As the Wacipi people would say, just totally awesome. All right. Man, TriStar.
Trying to get a job in the inner city is kind of rough on the Indian people that come from the reservations. And if the people that do the hiring and things, if they understand what the Anishinaabe people are about, you know, and that they're really caring people and sharing and very respectful people, then I think that they would hire them, you know, and they would bring that good feeling to that company or whatever, you know.
Make me strong, make me brave. You dancers out there, you make me strong, you make me brave. Hokai.
This society is filled with inaccurate images of American Indians, and the images are easily manipulated. So being able to show some sort of pride in our cultures and heritage at a powwow is very important for mental health.
All these promises of you getting education and you know, everything will be rosy, but when you find out that there's roadblocks, and you have to be a very strong person to break through those roadblocks, that racism and you know that goes on.
Make yourself comfortable. Get yourself an Indian taco and
Being
Indian
competitive
hamburger,
and
Indian
climbing that
coffee.
corporate ladder or climbing whatever, you know, that seems so foreign to many Indian people, you know, and I did that too. I wanted to be just as competitive as the next person and get ahead. That was a challenge, but you finally find out that it probably broke my spirit, probably. So I said, well, to hell with it, you know. They don't want me. The Washichos, they don't want me. So I'll come back my way.
If you were born in India, you can run away from it all your life, but it's still in you. If we have Indian problems and we have Indian questions, we can't find Indian answers in mainstream society. We have to look to our Indian ways. I think that it would have to be reestablishing that walk with the Creator. I mean, we are a praying people.
As I sit here and the wind goes by, I realize that God is here, that Wakantanka is here to make this wind blow, to make my mouth move, and the sound waves that go. The spirituality of American Indians is intertwined in everyday life.
We're the original people here, and we've tried to hold on to those good ways, because those good ways helped us survive for thousands and thousands of years. Our way isn't better, it just works for us, you know.
Kiss, kiss.
As always, we Indian people give thanks to the great Creator.
The Lakota tradition is you're not measured by the richness, by how much you have. It's by how much you give away, how much you give. And
we give thanks to the great Creator.
I mean, it's such a great feeling to give somebody something and make their tummies full. You know, it's when they're happy, you're happy.
The wealth that a person possesses is their ability to help others, to to share with others, to be of service to others.
My son graduated from high school. To me, that's an accomplishment. Kids have a hard time doing that. And you look at statistics within society, the graduation levels for American Indians are very low. And so that's a big accomplishment for him as an Indian person. And I wanted to acknowledge that and say thank you for getting that far with your life. The day he graduated, when I went to his graduation, I told him that we were going to do this for him. I did a lot of sewing and a lot of craft work and saved and sacrificed all year to obtain those things.
On behalf of her son, you know, for her love for her son, she will sacrifice and she'll give so that he will learn this. And someday when he has a son or a daughter, he will know what to do.
They're going to play some shawls in the 4 directions, and Charlie's going to dance on these shawls.
On the PowWow Trail, we have numerous extended families, and so with the feeling that I had on the day that he graduated, I wanted to share that with other people and let them know how happy that I was that that happened.
All right, the designated people will come out and receive these shawls.
I laid 4 shawls out in front of him that he dances on. It's a special gift that goes to somebody else, but also it's an honor for him.
It's so closely associated to the memorials, to teach, to practice the giving of rather than receiving. If you love someone, you give in their name.
My nephew, Charlie Lassie, will never be hungry. That's true.
My oldest son, Terry, when he was 6, 7 years old, he'd get off school, play around, go to bed. We'd carry him out to the car and head out about midnight for Eagle Butte. Wake up in the morning at 7:30, 7 o'clock. He comes from almost an all-white setting to an all-Indian setting. To be able to adapt to both, to be able to adjust to both, and you see the pride in him. See the real pride come out. See the real, where they feel real comfortable being with his own. It's identity. It's a must. It's a must to be able to sing. It's a must to be able to dance and participate in cultural events. That's all we have.
Pejinasto, watch you. That's the grass flattening dance. And these warriors were the ones who would move ahead of the encampment, and they would select the next campsite. And when they did that, you know, grass used to grow quite tall, you know, buffalo grass. They would pull these grass out and tie them in tufts around their knees and around their waist and their arms, you know. And then they would sing that special song. Singers would sing that special song. And so they would flatten that grass and dance and flatten that grass. So that's quite the movements that they have in their dance. You know.
I danced as a hunter, trying to sneak through the grass and emulate grass so that the prey does not see me.
What my uncles told me about grass dance was that it's a celebration, dancing a celebration of life, dancing for good health, for good fortunes like that. When I get out there and dancing, I don't try to
think of what I'm going to do. I try to focus on what that drum, the beat of that drum, and then just go with the flow. The dance itself, you do one thing on one side, same thing you do on the other side. Well, that's just like this road of life. You take this road of life you're walking down. You take a road there and you're walking down it. And you do something on one side, it's like you take a step on one side. Automatically, you gotta follow up on the other side. And to try to keep yourself on that road, you gotta keep that balance. And that's the same way with this dance, you gotta try to keep that balance with that, what I was telling you, the mind, the emotion, the physical, and the spirit.
When you're dancing, these things that are in the regalia, they bring out a shine. You actually shine out there. When you feel good about yourself, everybody can do that. It's not just for Anishinaabe people. It's for everyone.
One day, a long time ago, I used to be the size of this young guy. And someday, this guy's gonna be the same size as me, and I'm gonna be old. One day, I'm gonna be gone, and this guy's gonna be taken over. That's the role that they're gonna be having. And the way I see it, we in our generation now are in a situation where we gotta try to instill a lot of basic values of our teachings to this younger generation so they can carry on.
Look, take care of your little ones. They're precious. They are a gift to you. Take care of it. Okay, we go to the Southern Thunder Drum for the next native tribal. Hey-ya, okay, why not? Oh, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful, lovely day. And everybody's looking beautiful out there today.
When I was pregnant with him, we went to powwows all over the place. And after he was born, when he was a baby, we took him to powwows, and every time he heard the music, he would either get wide awake and start kicking around, or otherwise it would put him to sleep. And then about one and a half, he started jumping around, wanting to go out and dance. He wanted to go out and follow his grandpa.
It was his decision. We didn't say he had to dance. He just wanted to dance. And
So what do you do when you first come to the powwow site and you pull into the campground? What's the first thing you do?
I just come out. I'll come out and play, and then I'll try to find my friends, and then we'll all play.
And where are your friends from?
One of them are from Bismarck, Mandaree, and I got a lot of them everywhere, but I keep on forgetting sometimes.
So you have friends from all over the country, huh?
Yeah.
And you see them only at powwows?
Yeah.
if you watch the children, you see the adults seeing, making new friends and reacquainting with old friends. And it's the same way with these little ones. They have their own little set of friends out there that they see every weekend. So when they go out, they'll dance around, they'll dance on the edge, and they'll look around looking for their friends. And they'll see them, and boom, they're gone. So they have their own little world too. We want both of our children to know where they came from, who they are.
Harvey, what's your favorite part of a powwow?
When you dance.
I'm Ojibwe, and our traditional dance with women is the jingle dress. This dress is worn in our ceremonies by the Ogichidakwe. Ogichidakwe is warrior woman, and she's a leader in the community and is chosen by the elders to set an example. The way you dance with these is you dance to make the jingles make sound, so you have to make those jingles dance. Even though they're on the top here, you still have to make them dance. And another thing you do is you don't go around in circles. You dance in a zigzag, you know, because life, too, isn't always a straight line. You know, you get off the path and you work to get back on. You might get off in another area and you work to get back on. It's more of a shuffle, the way that you dance. Also, when we stop, you know, and raise our fans at a certain time, we're honoring that drum again. The way that drum is dressed, some have little small jingles on them. So the jingles actually come from those ceremonial drums that were given to the Ojibwe people. Shininess has a significance to Indian people. So the Copenhagen lids naturally fit in to things that we use. So we started just trimming off a little bit of the edge and using the whole cover now to make this size of a jingle, what you see today. A story was given to me from an elderly woman. Her name was Maggie White. She was from Whitefish Bay, Ontario. When she was a young girl, she got sick and she couldn't walk. And her grandfather had a dream that he was to have a jingle dress made. And he was to have his granddaughter brought in the ceremonial dance hall and sing her 4 songs in order for her to get well. So he asked some elderly woman in the community to make this dress. He gave them instruction. They put the dress on his granddaughter. They brought her in the dance hall. And the first song, these women had to help her dance around the drum. She could barely walk around the drum on the first song. The second song, they just had to hold on to her a little, and she started to walk. On the third song, they were able to let her go, and she could walk pretty good on her own. In the fourth song, she started to dance and was able to make it all on her own, and from that day on was able to walk and competed, and in Canada and the United States was a champion jingle dress dancer. There are many different stories about the jingle dress. There's stories from Mille Lacs, there's stories from Leech Lake, so there's a lot of meaning with this dress. People get well from wearing these dresses.
A powwow is a place where one learns to find within themselves who they really are.
This is very sacred to us, this circle. And this is why we don't like to see alcohol or drugs involved in a powwow.
I'd go to powwows and I'd feel it. I can't describe it. It's just this feeling I had that I wanted to dance and I wanted to be out there, and it made me feel good. Because one of the things is coming back from overseas and out of the Marine Corps, I really abused alcohol. And to me, it was a weekend was just meant drinking. I got off work, went down to the bar, cashed my check, and of course I had to spend half my check there at the bar. And going to powwows, it was a sober event. And the more I went to powwows, the more I liked it, and then I let go of the alcohol and drug abuse by going to powwows. And that's why I've always been real thankful that I found my way back.
My namesake told me, he said, when Indians drink and drug, they drive their spirits away. You know, that spirit doesn't want to be around the alcohol and drugs, so it goes away. And that's why people walk around lost.
And when I used to go to powwows, I used to drink and thought I had a good time. But I would see some of those powwow people, how their life had changed through going the traditional way. And I used to feel I used to feel damn envious of them because they could enjoy themselves and have a good time. You could see them dancing, having fun, without having to go that alcohol way, having to put something in your body to make you feel good. And at first, initially, I thought, well, I'll just sober up, and I'll be satisfied that way. But there was something lacking. There was something lacking inside. That's sobriety made me feel good, but there was something lacking, and I didn't quite know what it was. I don't know. I luckily fell in and found the right way. Stumbled and found the right way.
The getting high from being out there dancing to a good traditional song, you know, that feeling that you have is a true type of feeling that's in the experience for you that isn't artificially induced.
I'm contented. I like this way now. I don't feel a split person anymore, you know? So.
I was probably 7, 8 years old the first time that I'd seen it. And then I remember these girls came from California and they were doing this. And slowly it picked up and it's a more contemporary style of dance. This was probably in the 60s then.
Oh, how about a nice big round of applause for his song, ladies, fancy shopping.
When I was younger, a lot of places they called it graceful shawl. You did dainty, smaller steps, more graceful and closer to the ground, you know, but yet you had to be able to keep up with the men, you know, in time, you know, as fast as the songs went. All of my moccasins I have these little designs on the foot. They represent hoofs, like mine are deer hoofs, because the deer, if you ever see them run and jump over fences, they're just so graceful. I mean, it's just kind of unbelievable how they look. There's almost like they're not even touching, or they're not tired, or they're just, you know, free and floating. You know, that's when I dance. That's what you know, I feel really good like that, and that's the feeling that I guess I want to express. So I always put those, beat those on my moccasins. A real good song, I just kind of go off into, I'm not really thinking about anything, I'm just living that song. I mean, just out there, and And I don't know, it's real strange. Well, when I'm in really good shape, and these certain songs come like that, it's like my feet, the toes don't touch the ground. I don't know how that could be, but I can feel it myself, though. It's like, but the songs are just so, I don't know, they just really do something to me.
Okay, a nice big round of applause for ladies' fancy shawl dancer. Okay, that was right on.
We're all related, you know. We all come from one creator. It's just a matter of getting the introductions out of the way, and once you have the introductions out of the way, then your talk comes fluently and you're having a good time.
That's what POW is all about too, meeting new people, meeting old friends. And one of the terms they call it snagging, you know, boy meets girl and stuff like that. They call that snagging if they say it at the announce, you know. Don't be snagging, you know, or let her go or let him go, you know.
Very shortly. Or just go out there and meet some friends and shake hands and do a bit of talking. We'll bring you back here in a little while.
Now, I've also heard a phrase called snagging. What does that mean?
Snagging just means finding a girlfriend at a powwow.
So it's a place you meet people?
Yep, a lot of people from all over.
Snagging means to, for me, for a fella, to find that beautiful Indian girl and see if you can't, you know, have a relationship or whatever, because I mean the powwow circuit goes not just from one place, it goes all over. So I mean you might see that person how many different times in the summer. And so I mean it's kind of like, I guess they have summer love and all that kind of stuff. It's, you know, anytime somebody like hits it off, I guess you call it snagging.
I know that's like I met my wife on a power trail in Eagle Butte, South Dakota. You know, we just met and then we ended up going to the same school.
9 years ago, we met at a powwow, and we just started out as friends. We hung around together, and that's how we were as friends. We walked around, talked, and I don't know, just kind of snuck up on me one day, I guess. That's all I can explain it.
You could not marry someone in your own tribe, in your own band, especially in your own clan. So what you had to do is you had to go someplace else and get a wife. And this was the way you found someone who was not of your own tribe.
When you meet a new person or someone that could possibly be a companion to you, you know, it feels rather good, you know, and it feels like a family.
Beautiful dancing, beautiful songs here this evening. Sure make me feel proud.
Fancy dancing is probably one of the hardest dances to do in powwows.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Fancy dancing at its best. Oh, boy.
You gotta keep in shape, you gotta run, practice. Just like a sport, you can't just go out there and do it, you know, you gotta work at it, you know. Like I'm at the age of 32, I'm not really that old, but you know, I'm getting up there.
Welcome to our Teen Boys Fancy Dancers. Hoppa! That's the way, Fancy Dancers. Hoppa!
Well, a long time ago, from what I understand, there was traditional, then there was grass, and then there was fancy. It started down in the south, someplace in Oklahoma, someplace down there. Like fancy dancing, and before was, when it first came to, was rainbow dancers, you know. To represent the rainbow, like traditional dancers, they wear stuff of the animals and represent the animals that they created, put on this earth, you know. So we try to pass that on. The fancy dancers, they have two bustles, the top and the bottom, And some just have plain eagle feathers or plain turkey feathers. And some use the hackles, the chicken rooster hackles. And they use different colors. Some use the horsehair like I have, and some use ribbons. A lot of fancy dancers paint their face. All the fancy dancers wear the roaches, and they have the different deer tail colors here to come with their outfits, you know, their colors. Some fancy dancers, you notice they have the rocker that goes back and forth. I have what these called spinners, you know. That's called a northern style. And I know one down in Nebraska a couple of summers ago, and everybody had rockers, you know, because that's more of a southern style. And some of my friends were singing, and they said, "Hey, who's this guy with the spinners? You know, he's got some nerve coming down there, you know, wearing spinners, because it's southern style is fast and rockers and all that. And I'm more of a northern guy, and that's just the way I am, you know." Like when I dance, it's like a fire, so it's like a blazing fire or something, you know, when I'm spinning. When I'm dancing, it's fire. So I'll scorch you if you want. Don't stand too close.
Okchiapo means come and help each other. Come and let's do it together. Hokahe Okchiapo. To give each other strength, give each other words of encouragement. Gratefulness for you to be here, and gratefulness that we met today and talked. And that's what the powwow is about. It's a celebration of people coming together to share, communicate. No matter what part of Mother Earth you are, that part of land is relative, you know, and whoever walks on it is your friend, is your koda. That's how we look at it. When we come to a celebration, a powwow, it's like a bunch of birds coming together to communicate, to talk about things, about life. It's about a new beginning that they will create for each other, for two people. And then they will fly away, you know, and that's exactly what will happen here. We come together this weekend. After it's finished, we will be going home in our directions, and the powwow will be finished, and we will go home feeling a different beginning. A different beginning has happened.
PowWow is made possible, in part, by Target Stores, Dayton's, and Mervyn's through the Dayton-Hudson Foundation, and by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting through the Central Educational Network.